Okay, so if you have ever designed a button in Framer and then copied and pasted it every time you needed a new version of it, first of all, same. I did that for months. But it turns out that's kind of a long way. In Framer, there's a thing called a component. And a component is basically the original version of that button. The one you design once and then use everywhere. Like different colors, handled. Different sizes, handled. Client want a new font, one change, done. You don't touch every copy. You just update the original and everything follows. And in this video, I'm walking you through how to actually build one from scratch. Hi, I'm Sapi, you're that Framer website bro. Let's get started. Here's what actually happens when most people start in Framer. You design one card, looks good, you are happy. Then you need it in a different color. So you duplicate it, change the color manually. Then you need different text. Duplicate again, type it out manually. And before you even realize it, you have got like 15 components that are technically all the same card, but also somehow completely different and you don't even know why. Updating one thing means updating all 15. That's not a workflow. That's just more work that looks like work. The fix is actually three things: components, variants, variables. In that exact order. Once these click for you, I genuinely promise, Framer start to feel like a completely different tool. Like that level of difference. Before we fix anything, let me just quickly explain what a component actually is. Because once you get this, everything else in Framer starts to make so much more sense. A component is basically the original version of something. The master copy. Think of it like a stamp. You design it once and then you stamp it as many times as you want across your entire project. Every stamp is called an instance. And here's the part that made me go wild. If you ever go back and change the original, every single instance updates with it automatically. That's it. That's the whole idea. So how do you actually make one? Select any element on your canvas, button, card, nav, doesn't matter, anything. Right click, you will see create component option right there. Or shortcut if you will like me and head clicking around. For Mac, it will be like option plus command plus K. For Windows, control plus alt plus K. Give it a name, something clear like root button or pricing card, not just button. Trust me on this. Click create. Framer takes you straight into the component canvas. This is your master. Anything you touch in here touches every instance of it across your whole project. That's your component. Now you have a component, there's one more thing you are probably already wondering about. What if you need that same component in a different color? Like a dark button for light sections, a white button for dark sections? And you were thinking, do I just make another component? You don't. This is where variants come in. A variant is basically another version of your component. Same layout, same structure, same sizing, just different styling. And it lives right inside your existing component. So you are still just managing one thing. To add a variant, go inside your component canvas. You will see a little plus to the right of your current version. Click it. A new version of your component appears. On this new version, make your styling changes. Different background, different text styles, colors, anything, whatever you need. Then give them clear names, something like default and inverted. Now go back to the canvas. Place two instances of your component. And on the second one, look at the right panel. You will see a variant option. Switch it to inverted. Same component, two completely different looks. No duplicates, no separate components to manage. And the part that will genuinely surprise you, go back into your component, change something shared, something like font size or the border radius. Both variants change at once because they are both just versions of the same original. That's how variants work. I know what you are thinking right now. This is great, but every button still says the same thing. Do I have to go inside the component every time just to change the text? No, you really don't. And honestly, please don't. That would completely undo everything we just built. The answer to that question is variables. And the way I would describe a variable is, it's a door you leave open in your component. A door that says whoever uses this instance gets to decide what goes here. So the text, the title, the label on the button, each instance fills it in with whatever it needs. The component itself doesn't care what the words say. It just holds the space. Setting one up takes about 15 seconds. Go inside the component, click the text layer you want to open up. The right panel, content property, plus icon next to it, create variable. Name it something that makes sense. Button label or something like card title. Done. Now go back to the canvas, click an instance. There's a new field in the right panel now. The name of your variable. Just type into it. Each instance gets its own words. None of them affect the others. None of them go inside the master. That's the door. Let's just put it all together. I want to walk you through building a card component from the scratch, using everything we have covered. Component, variants, variables, all three in one. Start by designing a simple card. A title at the top, a short description below, a button at the bottom. It doesn't need to be fancy at all, like we are just setting up the structure so we have something to work with. Once that's ready, select the whole card, right click on it, choose create component, name it pricing card and create it. You are now inside the component canvas. Let's add a variant first. Click the plus button sitting next to your default version. A new version of the card appears. Make this one dark background, white text. Now name the both variants as light and dark. Now for the variables. Click on the title text, content in the right panel, plus next to it, create a variable, name it card title. Do the same for the description text, name it card description. And that's the component tag. Go back to your canvas, place 4 instances. First card, light, free plan, perfect for getting started. Second, dark, pro plan for serious builders. Third, light, theme plan, built for collaboration. Fourth, card, enterprise. Custom, scalable, yours. 4 cards, all different, all from the same original. And just to see the whole thing in action, go back to your master. Change the corner radius. Every card updates at the same time without touching a single instance. That's the system. And it took one component to build all 4 of them. You have got the system now. Components, variants, variables, all working together. But there's one habit that will determine whether this system actually saves your time or quietly turns into a different kind of mess. It's how you name things. Sounds small, I know, but it's not. When you name a variable text, you know exactly what it means today. But 2 months later from now, when you have got 20 different components, each with their own variables, text tells nothing to you. Which element? Which layer, which part of which card. You will spend more time figuring that out than you ever saved by typing too few letters. So the habit is this: be specific every time. Button label, not just text. Card variant, not just type. Show footer icon, not just visible. Name it so that someone who's never opened this file would know exactly what it does. Because eventually that's who's reading it. One more thing before we move on. You can nest components, meaning you can put a component inside another component, like the button inside the card. And if the button has a variable, you can bubble it up to the card level. So from the canvas, you are editing the card instance, and right there in the panel, you can also see and edit the button's level. No drilling down, no going 2 levels deep. Everything accessible from one place. Let me just show you what the difference looks like in a real situation. You were working on a project, pricing section, 3 cards. The client sends a message. Can we try making the buttons a different color? Scenario 1. You didn't use a master component, so you open card 1, find the button, change the color, open card 2, find the button, change the color, open card 3, doing the same thing. 3 cards, 1 change, but 3 separate edits. And if they ask for another change after that, 3 more. Scenario 2. You built a master component. You open it, you change the button color once, all 3 cards update. you close the file. Same project, same client, same request. One of those scenarios take 2 minutes, the other one could take 20. And the only difference is what you set up before the revision ever came in. That's what components are really for. You remember how we started? Our button, duplicated again, 10 different components, all basically the same thing. That was the real problem, right? And now look where you are. You know what a component is, you know how to create one, you know how to add variants. So one component can look completely different depending on where you use it. You know how to add variables, so each instance says exactly what it needs to say without you going inside and changing it manually every time. You know how to name things properly, so future you actually understands the file when you open it again. And you know that the difference between 2 minutes and 20 is just what you set up before the revision comes in. That's not a small thing. That's a completely different way of building. So the next time you open Framer, don't duplicate. Build one component, name it properly, add your variants, open your variables, and let it do the rest. If this video helped, drop one master in the comment. I genuinely love seeing those. Subscribe if you want more. There's a whole series coming and it just keeps getting better. So I will see you in the next one.